Today, guys, we're going to talk about a Viking. No, not that Viking. No, not that Viking, although he's pretty cool. This one, Tommy Langaker out of Norway, of course. He's been on the channel a few times before, but now in his second chance, he has won the Euro Trials for ADCC. So we're going to run through all the cool shit he did today. First up, against Alberto Guzman Gil, slap bump and then give me your head straight into the front headlock position. And Guzman says, please, no, I don't want any of that. So they reset. Tommy starts his wrestling, hits this lovely arm drag, sit out and wrestles up into a single. Lovely little Marcelo Garcia stuff. And Tommy can start working his passing. Did a lot of stuff from the back step today, mixed it up and put a couple of over-unders in there as well, was just looking really dominant in the passing. And a lot of the things he did, I noticed, were from holding on to the far foot, almost like a toe hold position, and using that to make sure that they can't recompose guard. You can see it here. Does another back step there with that grip, starts putting on the pressure, turns it into a lovely little knee cut to get into side control, and just eases over into mount. And from here we get some lovely mummy milkies, mother's milk smother for the first submission. He almost feels bad for it, almost. Second fight, he takes on Dylan Julio, and it looks like he's thinking about wrestling again, but when Julio fakes a double, he just sits down. You don't have to fake. I'll just play guard, that's fine. Starts working his reverse De La Riva, turns it into a lovely little X guard sweep here. Did a lot of stuff from De La Riva and X today. Jumps over straight into an ankle lock, rolls over. At first, Julio does a really good job of separating his feet, but Tommy just sits him straight back down on his ass and jumps straight back on the ankle lock. We get a lovely little Brazilian tap here, which I have isolated for us. Tommy's not falling for that. You're going to have to tap him a few more times, and they call it. And we get our first view of the Tommy fans. There was a bunch of Langaker fans in the crowd. This gentleman has had so much beer that he's wearing his headphones wrong. He doesn't even realize it. Next up, we have Tom Maynham. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but he sits to guard, so we get to see some more Tommy passing. Again, he's keeping that ankle grip as he starts working on the back steps. But Maynham does a really good job of keeping his guard composed, actually puts Tommy in a really bad situation with a heel hook here, but Tommy just rolls and rolls and rolls until eventually they end up out of bounds and they have to get reset in just the most pointless thing ever with the 1, 2, 3, go! And Tommy just pretty much instantly slides his heel safe. Once again, Maynham is in on a leg entanglement here, but Tommy uses it to start putting in wedges and look for the pass. Gets over into side control, slides back into mount, but Maynham does a really good job maintaining 3/4 guard and getting back into the half guard. This was actually a really decent match. Maynham did a really good job of attacking from the bottom, but Tommy was far too dominant on top, and just from that mount, he does get the win on points to move on. And if you want to start getting some wins and looking good doing it, you are going to need to get some good gear from White and Black. Jiu-jitsu apparel company making some tasty looking rash guards and shorts. I got myself some. They are high quality, guys. I urge you to click the link in my description. Make sure you use the code CombatArcade40. You get 40% off. This stuff's quality and you can get it for nearly half price. You might as well do it. And it helps the channel out a little bit too. So thank you to White and Black for sponsoring Combat Arcade. Next up, we got Mateusz Flaga, sits down to guard, instantly does Tommy. We start seeing some De La Riva work. I wasn't sure what to call this. I've called it a reverse berimbolo. I know a lot of people call Kiss the Dragon the reverse berimbolo, but he does some excellent little scrambles here, gets up into octopus guard, uses that to jump into a heel hook situation, which was just smooth as butter. Ends up trying to wrestle up into a single, but sits back into guard. And we're back where we started. Just some fun scrambles, really technical stuff. Here from the really low half guard, he hits a beautiful little sweep. It's so funny. Just in perfect control the whole time. Slaps some hooks in, gets on the back, and then rolls over the top for an armbar situation, ends up going off screen. And as we know, Flograppling doesn't like having cameramen, so we don't get to see what happens. I'm pretty sure it was an armbar. You can see the boys lighting up on the sidelines, and Tommy goes, yeah, I did do that. That was good. Next up, a wounded Tarek Hopstock takes on Tommy, and we get the most beautiful synchronized double guard pull I've ever seen. I love this sport so much. Sit on your bums and let's start touching legs. Tommy comes up over the top with this really interesting attempt at a pass. He's got a big crossface and a bicep slicer at the same time, which gives him the ability to get into this knee cut perfectly. Looks like an awful person to have passing your guard. Slides back over into mount. Tarek does a really good job of defending, but does give up his back momentarily. He stands up, and Tommy gets the body triangle in. This looks really dangerous and also quite funny. Tarek does a good job of surviving this and actually bumps off Tommy as he goes for an armbar, and he's desperate to start scoring points because there's only a few seconds left and Tommy got the back mount, so he's jumping all over him, nearly gets a stack pass into a reverse triangle there, still trying. Tommy doing an excellent job of keeping his guard, and that is where time runs out. That was a really fun match. If you know anything about Tarek, you know he's a gangster. And now in the final, Davis, Asare, they start nice and respectful. The referee calls a stop to the action. Nope, there's something wrong with the clock. Let me go check. And he has those footy shoes on, which I love. Very silly. Beautiful double leg here from Davis, just on the edge of the mats. Tommy keeps grips, pulls himself under Davis's base, gets himself into lovely leg entanglement position here, gets a nice bite on the hook, but uses it to come on top and start looking for passes. Sees an opportunity for a big double under, gets a huge stack on him, and as Davis turtles up, Tommy rolls for the back. Just beautiful stuff, gets hooks in, and from here Davis knew it was a problem, and it was a little bit of hand fighting, but before too long, Tommy Langaker gets the rear naked choke finish, and he's going back to ADCC. We all love to see him there. He's very respectful, but yep, the boys come on, give him and his opponent a big cuddle, which is a bit weird, but this is my absolute favorite moment of the night. This lad hands Tommy some liquor, and the referee goes, "Oi, liquor's fine, but you're wearing shoes on my mat, son. You know that's not allowed. How dare you? You instantly get demoted a belt. Get off." He saw the toe shoes and he knew he was beaten. The referee goes, "Fuck it." But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this one out. We got Fight Pass Invitational tonight. Make sure you watch it. It's got as many B team guys as you can possibly fit on a card. Some excellent matches. If you want to throw a couple of bucks my way, support the channel, I really appreciate it. You can hit join under the video, become a YouTube member, or head over to patreon.com/combatarcade, become a member over there. I don't have any perks at the moment, except I'll put your name up on the screen and shout you out, just like Cops Clop, Wee Man, Stu Mitchell, and Mr. Julian Seidenbush. I appreciate you guys so much. Once again, do jump over to White and Black with the code CombatArcade40. That also gives a couple of bucks our way, and I will make a video for Fight Pass, and I will put it out quicker than this one. Mwah!